deceived.
We are being corrupted.
We are being infiltrated. We are being made ill.
We are deprived. We are malnourished.
But now is our time.
Free yourself of these shackles of bondage.
Open your eyes and restore your original, unconditioned, and unlimited power.
The Syncretism Academy is based on direct knowledge as opposed to indoctrination. We have revived this academy, the first of its kind in 1500 years since Emperor Justinian closed the Neoplatonic academies by edict in 527 AD. The Neoplatonists of ancient times brought together and syncretized all fields of human knowledge, including health, philosophy, cosmology, and spiritual sciences for the purpose of human ascension, evolution, optimization, and to divinize humanity. This knowledge has been oppressed and persecuted right under our noses. So in this war for veracity, we have resurrected the ancient teachings to enable us to remember these truths. The Syncretism Academy will enable you to reassemble the teachings that have been withheld from us and allow us to unite them to make one cohesive field of knowledge.
In the Academy, we fully understand that without body, there is no mind. That being said, it is crucial we utilize an extensive healing protocol, allowing the body to merge with mind. This provided allows the ability of ascension. Proper physical education is absolutely necessary and crucial for this development, meaning proper nutrition and physical exercise is mandatory. Our private mentors, physical trainers, and chefs give you all the tools you need to properly merge body and mind through the teachings of syncretism. When you heal the body, you heal the mind, giving you the connection to the spiritual realm, allowing you to start your ascension and regain your unconditioned godship. Paradise belongs here on earth. Now is the time to take it back. Join us. Join the Syncretism Society and allow yourself to become who you really are. Health in mind, body, and spirit. Hello and welcome to the Syncretism Society podcast, episode 8. My good friends, as you can tell, my dear friend Santos is not sitting beside me today. Earlier today, his father, Victor Bonacci, passed away at hospital, and I just want to send out the greatest and largest condolences and prayers to him and his whole family. We're all with you, my brother, and we're supporting you all the way through, as you know. So Logan will be sitting in today as our dear guest. Yes. And we have a very, very, very special guest today. You all know him very well, Mr. David Weiss. Round of applause, guys.
Oh, come on. I don't know if they all know me. I mean, I am outspoken a little bit.
They all know you, David. They all know you.
Oh, yes. Wow.
Yeah. So it's amazing to have you on here. Really excited about the content that you've been providing. I've been watching you for a while now.
Okay.
And, I was saying how you literally, I'm not going to go and say the word, but you literally take a nice all over all the Globers. Nice one. Nice big one.
You know what? It's so easy to do. And people that they're, we have our dedicated Globers who basically are soulless, channels for Satan or whatever you want to call it. But then there's just the normal people that are like, oh, flat earth is stupid. And they don't understand their own model. And they don't understand our model. They think that we're a disc floating in space, which you've seen me show every time. And that's crazy. We're not that,
Absolutely.
And they've been to the Flat Earth Society, We're not that. That's not us. That's crazy. And I would think
Absolutely.
that flat earthers are stupid too. Here's what I just want to clear up. When we say the earth is flat, there's hills and valleys and stuff. So it's not flat like that. We live on a plane with hills and valleys, and we don't know what's under it. Nobody knows whether ball or flat. We don't know how many dimensions are above us or below us. There's so much we don't know, but we know that we don't know. Ballers think they know it all. One thing that we all know for sure, that anyone that's researching, is that we don't live on a spinning space ball flying through an infinite space vacuum.
For sure.
And we didn't evolve from pond scum.
For sure. That's
maybe some have, but I don't
yeah, I could point some out downstairs.
Yeah,
from our studio for sure. There's a couple, but man, I'm so excited to have our audience look at some of your content, man, and let's get into it, man. Before we get into it, if possible, my friend, can you just give us a little bit of background about you and how you got into the flat Earth?
Imagine a teenage girl being grabbed by the ankle and dragged into a pit of alligators that are very hungry.
Oh,
that's how I got into flat Earth, right? Because I was forced.
Alligators.
Yeah.
It was horrible. It was just horrible.
Why?
I was like, flat Earth I was doing a conspiracy podcast, and I hate the word conspiracy now just because it's so psyopted, but I was looking into all of the deceptions, the New York one, Connecticut, the marathon, all that stuff. And I was doing great work on it, and working with tons of other people. And then people said, hey, look into flat Earth. And I was like, oh, that's funny. Ha, ha, ha. And then they'd send it again. I'm like, okay, you're banned from ever listening to my podcast again. And then I was forced by Sophia Smallstorm to take a look. Right? I was like, not you too. And I went in closed-minded, planning to debunk it. Just going to end this. This is dumb. It's the dumbest thing ever. And I thought it was the dumbest thing ever because of all of the programming I had to believing what flat Earth isn't, what, they wanted me to believe something that it really isn't.
Yeah.
And then when I started understanding, I'm like, okay, this is interesting, but it's all online. I got to prove this myself. Spent $1,000, bought a Nikon P900, good tripod. And I went down to look at something that should have been 66 feet over the curve. And there it was. And I could see the water, the surface of the water for dozens of miles beyond it, where there should be hundreds of feet of curvature. And
Wow.
I'm like, that's not a refraction. That's just there. And then I started looking into how our eyes work. And we have tons of videos explaining the angular resolution limits of your eyes.
Yes.
And what happens, that's not the only reason things disappear because of angular resolution. When it's angular resolution only, you take a zoom camera and bring that ship right back into view.
Yep.
Right. So, but then sometimes like, you really can't bring it back. Well, that's because there's miraging going on. There's haze. There's little waves in the, as things go into the distance, something's big and it moves away. It gets smaller and smaller and smaller. So if I had a wave this big, right, it doesn't really block it, right? It doesn't really block it. But as I go away,
obviously
that wave isn't getting, I'm going backwards. That wave isn't getting smaller and it starts blocking. And then everything converges into the horizon. And It's a fake horizon. Clouds at, 5 or 10,000 feet, whatever height that cloud deck is, when you look out over the water, just 20 miles away, 20, 30 miles away max, they're already compressed into the water.
Yes.
Okay. And then everything just goes beyond. And it just looks like it's going down.
So I have a question on that for you.
Before we get into I don't think we recorded this. So Logan, for our guests out there, Logan is neutral.
Yeah, I'm neutral.
I
don't really care because it's not going to change my life. But anyway, David said he has a reason why.
That's the one thing that triggers me when someone says, "What difference does it make? It's not going to change my life."
Yeah.
It's going to change your life.
Hear what you have to say on that.
It's going to change your life.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's awesome. So I like to learn new things. Okay, so I observe the hell out of nature. Okay, especially being here in the sun in Mexico.
Nature doesn't lie.
When you're at high noon here on the beach. And I put my hands up. Now I know there's obviously light refraction that plays a role into all this, but
sure,
when you're putting your hands up above to block out the light, to look at the sun, to me anyway, from my perspective, I see the sun as a specific size. And then on the top deck of my casita, I have a fourth spot where I can go up there and I can watch the sunset. And to me, the sun is bigger as it comes down, what it appears to be going below the horizon than above. Now, if it is going straight across the earth, then to me, it would be the same size and it would get smaller as it moves away from us. And that just is not what has happened since I've been observing it here.
And that's because you do not understand what you're seeing. And tonight I'm going to teach you all what
Okay,
you're
cool.
seeing.
Awesome.
Okay. So I'm going to show you guys two tables. Are these the same width and dimension?
Well, I know. I think
Yeah,
all-
You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I've watched your stuff.
Okay,
on,
so
Kill the Priest.
again, so your eyes it's very difficult. So this is just showing you that
Oh.
unless you can touch it and measure it, you can't really tell. So
Yes.
first, let's you guys you probably have seen this, but I want to show it again because
Sure.
then I'm going to lead into something new that I'm going to show. Have you seen my flat Earth kitchen? Seen
yes,
this?
yes, I've watched your video on this.
Yeah.
Just real quick so people can see it.
Yeah, it's
We're
for the
looking.
people. This is for our
Yeah.
guests for sure.
We're looking at the sun from the elevation of the sun. This line is level. Yes, it's level. I verified it in the full video, but you can see that it's level. Here's my counter. Here it is moving along. This is it can be a cloud deck or a mountaintop, whatever. It's opaque and it's above it. Now we're going to look at the view of the same path from the table, from the far end of the table, and look at the line. It looks like it's going down. If I showed you this first and said, is this line level? You would say, no, it's going down.
Of course.
And look, it never went below this, but this is from the viewer's point of view at your eye level. This is compressed into the horizon. Look at the line now. It's almost going straight down. Okay. So this is just without any atmosphere, refraction, magnification, nothing. Okay. Now we compare it to a real sunset. And look, it goes behind. This is the real sunset. An atmospheric deck. So this is that cardboard bottle thing I had,
Yep.
right? But your eyes can't see the difference between that line and the apparent horizon, and it all crunches together and it all just disappears beyond this cloud deck, atmospheric deck of opacity. So now we're going to talk about perspective. So when you watch something go away, it gets smaller. Bam, it just goes away and it gets smaller because you are at the same level as that thing. As it goes away, it gets smaller. Nobody disagrees with that. So this is perspective, and it literally goes away until it disappears. Now these lines are all level, but look at these lines here. These are almost going straight down. Okay, this is a hallway, and it's level, but your eye perceives these as going down. So here we have a sun that's already elevated. Okay, it's really going straight across, but due to perspective, it goes down, and this is what an observer would see. This is like a cross view of it. And this is what you would see. Though this sun is just going down due to perspective, like I just demonstrated. Okay. So I forget what the name of the effect is. So here the train cars, it's already reduced.
Yeah.
And as it goes away, it really doesn't change size very much. So this is a cartoon. Let's look at it in reality. Here's two balls, okay, that are the same size, 6 feet apart. The one in the distance is way, way, way small. Okay. So we have a camera looking at it. One's very close, one's very far. It shrank already, as things do as they go into the distance. But when we lift the camera up, straight up, not getting any closer to the other one, watch what happens. Okay. Because when something is already away from you, its perspective drop gets less and less. And at 7 feet high, they're pretty much the same size. Right. So if I move this ball along the track, it's not going to get any smaller. And perspective tells you it's going down. Okay. This is all just a trick of the eyes.
Yeah, it is.
And that's how it works. Now, here's another thing. There's two more things I'm going to tell you. One, as that sun is going away, as it becomes lower and lower, you're looking like when you're looking at the sun above you, you're looking through just a little bit of atmosphere. But when you're looking at the sun away from you and it's already dropped, you're looking at it through all of the atmosphere. And when you're looking out over water, there's moisture in that air. So as the sun is going away, remember, it's already up. It's not going to get much smaller. It's also being magnified a little bit sometimes, not every day. That's why sunsets look at different sizes on different days. Okay. It's called atmospheric magnification. That just plays a little part. And then the last thing is it's really not bigger. When you see the next time you guys have an opportunity to see a moonrise or moonset that is gigantic on the horizon, well, you go, wow, that's big. It's not. It's the same size as this one above you. And the way to do it, you know, you think like, wow, look at that moon. You take a picture and you look at the picture and go, oh, it looks tiny, right?
Yeah.
But you look at it, it's gigantic.
Huge,
it's your mind. Here's what you do. Sounds gay. It's not. Turn around, spread your legs, bend over, and look at the moon upside down through your legs. And it will be tiny.
You're kidding me.
It will be tiny.
Why?
Because your brain short circuits and it can't.
Oh my God.
It's totally a short circuit. It's the way we see things. We don't see. Yeah. So The whole argument of the sun not getting smaller, and by the way, it does get smaller many,
Ryan, you
many
hearing this?
times,
We're
depending
gonna
on
try
the.
it out later.
Yeah. Is it a full moon? Look at my
No, it was a few days ago.
2 days ago.
Yeah. So, well, it might be big enough, but this was taken by a soldier in Afghanistan, super dry, not over the water, and no humidity, and the sun just goes away. Paul McCartney knows the fool on the hill sees the sun going down, but the eyes in his head see the world spinning round. And this, look, we are spinning backwards at 1,000 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Why isn't that sun going down? It's just going away, and it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller until you can't see it anymore. Okay. So,
and then you zoom in and then you'll see it again.
well, here's one. Looks like this one's setting over the water, right? But as I showed you before in my kitchen one, you can't see that there's space between the sun and the water. And when you zoom in, because these clouds over here are the same size height as the ones above you, but when you zoom in, oh look, it's not touching the water. It's still up there. Oh. And then over distance, like right here becomes opaque, and the sun will just go behind that. And it looks like it's going down. It's not. We showed you that with the perspective. And it looks like it's disappearing behind the horizon, but it's not. There is no physical horizon. We can see too far. It's all nonsense. Next.
I love this guy.
That was a good explanation.
It is. It is. That's why it's so.
That was a good
it's
explanation.
very simple to fall into the flat Earth, because
so
all the.
Here's the thing.
The
sorry, I just get very excited.
Yeah, I would be too.
When you're looking at things that you can't touch, there's many reasons. Like people say, well, why do the stars rotate in the opposite direction in the south? Well, if I'm sitting here watching the stars spin around me and they're coming from my left shoulder to my right shoulder, so they're going this way, right? Left shoulder to right shoulder. Right. Well, if I was in the south and I was over here, they're going from my right shoulder to my left shoulder.
Yeah.
And they're not going in a different direction. Here's what you just think about this. No matter where you are in the earth, the stars, the sun, and the moon rise in the east and set in the west. They're all going in the same direction. Yeah. Okay. Whether it's clockwise or counterclockwise just has to do with the direction that you are facing. They all rise in the east, set in the west. They're all spinning around like a perfect clock above us.
Of course. Guys, if the globe's spinning at 1,000 miles per hour, we're traveling through space at 66,000 miles per hour. Do you think the stars would stay in the exact same positions?
We're chasing the sun
over and over again.
4.5 billion miles a year we move.
Yeah,
4.5 billion. And there's no parallax. Parallax ever. But NASA says that they can measure parallax from like June and then December, when we're on the other side of the sun, 183 million miles. And they can tell by the parallax and how far they are. Right. But what about the 4.4 billion miles that we moved, in the course of a year? And then when you talk about these speeds and distances, people have no friggin' idea. Let me just show you. Watch this. This is the hypersonic sled. It's going to go by Mach 8.4. Don't blink. Okay. Did you see it?
Whoa.
Okay.
That's Mach 8.4?
This is Mach 8.4.
Wow.
We are orbiting the sun 10 times faster than that. And we are chasing the sun 90 times faster than that.
Insane.
And all of these orbits, all of these motions are not straight. Like they're elliptical motions. Imagine you're in a car on a perfectly smooth road and you have a dinner plate and you fill it with water to the edge and you're going perfectly straight on a perfectly smooth road. That's fine, right? But when you take a little bit of a turn, that water is coming right off the plate. But we have lakes that look like this. We are going 10 times and 90 times in two different directions faster than that hypersonic sled. But we have lakes that don't do this. Neil deGrasse Tyson, the high priest of scientism, he says that because of the spin of the earth, the water bulges at the equator. Well, that makes sense. I get it. It makes sense. It was 14 miles high. 14 miles high. If I left Alaska and I wanted to fly to Santiago, I'm only flying at 5 miles high. At what point do I triple my height, triple my normal cruising altitude to skim over a hump of water? Okay.
Well, I don't think they promote its actual water. They said that over the billions of years of development of the Earth, that it's turned into oblate spheroid. So it's not the water itself that they're talking about. They're
True
talking,
story, bro.
yeah, exactly. The BS that they're pulling is that the thing has turned into this oblate spheroid. It's no longer a sphere. Meanwhile, I've
So
never
what
seen
does
anything-
gravity follow the contour of that? You
It's
know,
all
like you're going and
nonsense.
gravity
It's
goes
all
up, now
nonsense.
go up, now go down. It's the dumbest thing ever. Here,
Of
you know
course
my
it is.
you know my Bitcoin challenge. I have a Bitcoin challenge on my app. If you watch the daily video every day for 2 weeks and you still
No,
think
we
the Earth
didn't
is a
finish it.
globe, do you know about it?
No. Enlighten
Oh,
us. No, we didn't.
have you seen my app?
We know. I know about your app. Yes, for sure.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you the app in a minute. We're going to go over seasons. Then I'll show you the app,
Yeah.
and then I'll tell you my challenge. And then I got another challenge. The
Okay.
first challenge, you get 3 Bitcoins. The second challenge, you get 100 Bitcoins.
Yeah. Wait. Hold on. First of all, you got 100 Bitcoin.
I'm going to give 100 Bitcoins.
You got
for
100
anybody.
Bitcoin, David.
Wait until you hear the challenge. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, that's
I'm in crypto myself. 100
Yeah.
Bitcoin.
Nice.
that's no joke.
Yeah,
Are you a
man.
Hexican?
I'm part of the Ripple army.
Ripple
Oh,
baby.
no. Oh boy. Good
Yeah,
luck.
I'm-
You're either going to make it or not make it.
No, but
Yeah,
right,
we'll see.
Hinman's deposition was yesterday, so we're about to find out what's going
Yeah.
on with the case. Yeah, everything's
Yeah.
come
I've
to.
got some Ripple.
Yeah, good.
All right. So getting back to Logan's questions.
Yes.
Logan, what about seasons? You want to ask that question?
Yeah, actually, the since we're at questions, the other one that I observe is the sun's pattern as it spins around according to the flat Earth model, and the amount of daylight and nighttime certain places on the map have. So I was looking at the south of this, the very south of South America and Argentina, and it having during December it has like.
As you're saying this, remember daylight and sunlight are 2 different things.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I got you. So the sunrise and sunset gives it about 16 hours of daylight, as well, according to the map here.
Some sunlight mixed in there. Yes.
Right, and then you have all the way at the opposite end up in Alaska. I don't know the town, but it doesn't.
It doesn't set at all. Correct.
Right. So how do you manage that kind of aspects with the
So on the tilted wobbling space ball, we're supposedly tilted at whatever
20,
degrees, right? My green is picking up. So we're tilted. So when the sun is summer, when it's over the Tropic of Cancer, it's summer in the north, and everything has its weather patterns. 6 months later, it's the opposite, and equal latitudes south should have the same weather, but they don't. It's completely different. Animal life is different. Plant life is different. Everything, weather, light, it's all different. So that kind of disproves the globe right there and leans towards the flat Earth model. When I say lean, I mean heavily represents what we're seeing on the flat Earth. What we're seeing here, this is a dome, and we have an external light just moving just a tiny bit. And you watch the light patterns. This is the actual light patterns put on the flat Earth map from time and date. And you see when the sun moves in, it lights up this area. And when it moves out, it wraps around. So in the far south, the light will wrap. Watch, because it comes around and it wraps around. And it wraps around here. So the sun is long gone because it antarced away from you, hint, hint. Okay. Versus when you're in the north in Norway or Alaska, the sun is arcing around you. Arctic, hint, hint. Okay. So they're telling you what's going on. This is how it happens. If the Earth was a spinning globe, besides us all being dead, you wouldn't have light patterns like this. You would have matching seasons at 60 degrees south and 60 degrees north. And when you look in Alaska, there's bison, whatever, moose, all different types of plants. But at equal latitude south, there's almost nothing. And that's because the way the sun goes around. So let me pull up my app, and we'll talk about seasons and the light patterns. I have to activate it here.
You getting all this, Logan?
Yeah, no, definitely.
He's taking it in. It's new information, and we're going to get into why it matters because with all the crap, I listened to your podcast yesterday. You guys were hitting on all the stuff that we're worried about, and it was this is the most important topic of our time because if we ever get our freedoms back, how long are we going to keep it when the elite,
quote unquote,
the people that are running this place, they know the truth of this world? Okay,
for sure.
Boy. I'm having an issue.
No worries.
1 second.
No worries at all.
What is so Go ahead.
No.
Go ahead. You want
No, I was just gonna say about flat Earth. People need to understand that what they're trying to push onto us is the fact that we're so insignificant that we evolved, like you say, from this pond scum, that we're spinning on this
Right.
globe, traveling through space meaninglessly. And this is what they're taking from us. So it does change everything,
it changes everything.
It changes the whole ball game. So,
All right, Logan.
here we go.
So everything I'm going to say here is really easy to understand. Clear your head from the memorization and regurgitation training you had in all of your schooling, and we're going to learn something new that's very, very simple. All right. And so imagine, before I show you, imagine, Logan, you and I are where you guys, you're in friggin' Mexico, so you don't even know what snow is, but maybe you know what snow is. Let's say you're here in Connecticut.
I know what snow is.
Oh, you're from New York. All right.
Yeah.
Upstate New York.
Yeah.
So it's freezing cold, middle of the winter. We're sitting outside in a snowy field for some stupid reason, and we're about 20 feet apart, okay? And we're freezing. And then somebody comes over with a long pole and a big, huge heat lamp and holds it 10 feet over your head. You look up and you're like, I feel that heat. It's coming down on me. That's your summer sun. I'm 20 feet away, and I see that, due to perspective, much lower in the sky. I could barely feel the heat. It's far away, and I don't feel the heat. That's my winter sun. And then they move that light over, straight and leveled, 10 feet over my head. I'm like, ice is melting off of me. It's lower in your sky. It's farther away. You don't feel the heat. That's your winter sun. So right here, and this proves that we're not a spinning ball flying through space. Seasons make zero sense on a globe Earth. So the sun and the moon are a perfect clock. Right now, we are part of this Earth system. We, as humans, we can't live off of this Earth. We're connected to it, and they're lying to us about the time. The sun should be pinned to the hour hand, but they're telling us it's an hour later than it is for some ridiculous reason. So the sun keeps track of the hours and the days. The moon keeps track of the weeks and the months. Remember, there used to be 13 months of 28 days.
Yep.
And as you can see, the sun is catching up to the moon, and the moon is waning. The sun will lap the moon once every 28 days. So the moon keeps track of the weeks and the months. Okay, you with me so far?
Yes.
So now I'm going to turn on the stars. The stars are also going in the exact same direction. They tell us the moon is going in the opposite direction. It's ridiculous. The sun is going. It's going not. It doesn't lap the stars don't lap the sun every 28 days like the sun laps the moon. The stars lap the sun once a year. What does that mean? So we were just in the Tropic of Cancer, which has moved past, and now we're in Leo. And it's slowly, Leo is going to get past the sun in about a month. It takes about a month for each one of these to pass. So that's how the sun is in each zodiac. So also the sun that we see, we'll get into that, migrates in between the Tropic of Cancer, which is this inner yellow line, and the Tropic of Capricorn. As you can see, it goes pretty warm in Mexico, right over you, just like that heat lamp, right over you. But I'm up here in the north. It's still pretty close and not too bad. Australia is having their winter, right? Because the sun is it's coming back. June and July, it was out over here, but now it's moving back towards Australia. If I jump forward to December, the sun is out over Australia. They're having their summer. We're having our winter. Up here in New York, it's freaking cold because look, here's New York. You see my mouse? And the sun's going to come around all the way over here. So far away, like that heat lamp, far away, low in the sky, shorter days, less heat. Like at the high point of the day in December, the highest point of the sun for that day, on a clear day, you can look at the sun here in Connecticut and not even feel the heat on your face. But in June, when the sun is on the horizon, at the most severe tilt, if we lived on a ball, that's more than the 23-degree tilt, literally on the horizon, as soon as it shows up, I can feel the heat on my face.
Yep. Yeah.
That's a much less direct phase. They would tell you there should be an ice age, according to mainstream science, every morning, but there's not. And it gets worse. In the helio nonsensical bullshit model, they tell us that during our northern summer, we're 3.5 million miles farther from the sun than we are in the winter. So they want us to believe that in December 21st, when I'm looking up at the sun, pretty direct angle, and I can't feel the heat, that were 3.5 million miles closer than when in June, I look at the sun on the horizon and I feel the heat on my face. This is nonsense.
Ridiculous.
This is
Yeah, no, it's
total
ridiculous.
mind control.
Yeah.
They've inverted everything. All right. So real quick, and I'll just get out of the app. Every day, here's the thing: 3 Bitcoins for touch. If you watch the featured video every day for 2 weeks, and then you can come up with one proof of the globe. But before you do it, you have to hit the question mark. And when you do, up comes what Google is hiding from you. Right now, they're still on YouTube, but we have plans to move them off of YouTube because of the censorship. But if you say, hey, Dave, what about eclipses? What about gravity? What about ships over the horizon? If I click ships over the horizon, hit open YouTube, up comes a list of videos that Google will not serve you. They don't want you seeing these. They haven't deleted them yet. They've deleted a bunch, but they're in here. And then you watch these and you're like, all right, I got to go test that myself. Don't believe anything I'm telling you. You need to test this yourself. Unlike NASA, you can't verify anything. Also in the app, if you hit the web button, tons of other resources. Our video will be here. When you guys upload the video, it'll be right there under DITRH interviews. Here's my channel, DITRH, the initials for Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole, short videos. Biblical Flat Earth, amazing stuff, even if you're not into the Bible. And then on the bottom right, one of my favorites is Tartaria and the mud floods.
Baby. I love Tartaria.
And then also I've added Stellium 7, where he's showing mammoths, mountains that were mammoths. You know, I laughed at that until I was forced to watch it again. I'm like, Jesus. Now you go outside and you don't know what the heck you're looking at. It's truly amazing. Tons of stuff. Books. One of my favorites, 16 emergency landings that prove flat Earth. I'll show you that in a moment.
Nice.
And another one, the Iron Republic. What's beyond Antarctica? Very, 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 very interesting story. Tons of stuff in there, tons of resources. And if you're unsure about spending $3 on an app,
the Iron Republic is what again? It's
a story about. Let me get out of the app. Also in the app, tons of, like, when you're talking flat Earth with somebody, you want to show them some pictures. You're like, oh, you believe in satellites? Like, you believe this is going on?
Is that what people really believe in?
This is what people believe. Look, check this out. Imagine this satellite right here is geostationary, which means this one stays above this point of land, right? Well, this is what the Earth is doing. This is what the Earth is doing. It's spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. It's orbiting the sun at that hypersonic 10 times the hypersonic sled speed and chasing the sun. And that satellite somehow mimics all of those distance, all of those directions, speeding up and slowing down on all of them, and somehow stays over the same point of land. That is nonsense. Complete and total nonsense. Insanity. Really
Mm-hmm.
And there's so much more. And another feature I'm adding, which is literally, I'm testing it this week. I think it's going to need another week or two. But
what's that?
You can find other flat earthers that have the app. You can turn it on and you can say, hey, you know what? I don't want to be invisible. That's fine. Or you can say, hey, just give my general position or give my exact position. So I could be like down in Mexico and say, I want to go grab some tacos. And I'll look at it and go, hey, there's a couple flat earthers hanging out in the taco place on the corner.
Nice.
And boom, I'll go in and I'm like, hey, I'm the guy with the gray hat. Come say hello.
Idea,
like, if I was at a beach and someone said, hey, sent me a message like, hey, I'm at this beach. I'm going to the tiki bar. Come say hello. I'm in. I love meeting flat earthers. They're the greatest people on earth.
Yeah.
So
you said you're in Connecticut?
I am.
Where? That's where I'm
in the lower Fairfield County.
Oh, Fairfield. Okay. Nice.
Oh man, we need this information out to everyone. Everybody.
You're really tan for Connecticut, though, my friend.
I spend a lot of time on the water.
Nice.
And I enjoy my summers the best I can because
good for you.
The sun cures the C word, and suntan lotion gives you the C word.
That's right.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah.
So
well said.
I don't use suntan lotion. And I also turn my brightness down a little bit.
Oh, it's good, man. You get a little saturation going on. Oh, good for you. I'm happy that you get out there in the sun.
Yeah. When are you going to come visit us, David? When are you going to come?
I want to come soon. I'm literally considering moving to Mexico.
Do it. Do it. Come to our town, man. Come to our town.
I will. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
So seasons prove the Earth is flat. Prove that it's not a globe. What else you got? What here? If I said to you right now, what's the number one thing? We've taken the sun shrinking off the table. What's the number one thing that makes you think the Earth is a globe? I'm not even going to say flat. Let's not talk flat. What makes you think the Earth is a globe?
Well, I don't think it's a globe.
All right, we're done.
To be really
we're done
clear
here,
with everybody that's listening, I'm neutral because I said.
So what do you think it is, though? If
well,
it's not a globe,
no,
and
I
it's
lean,
not a flatter plane.
No, I lean more towards the firmament. I believe I believe that we're under something, and I think I think the Earth is an egg shaped, and we're actually underwater. But it's a little bit of a deep rabbit hole to go down since we're not even kind of getting into that.
I would love to get into that a little bit too. Why not? Let's get into that. But no, my question is this. My question to Logan is this: when you picture the plane that we are on, right? When you close your eyes, what do you see?
Oh, for sure.
Do you see us standing on a sphere? Do you see us standing on an oblate spheroid like Neil deGrasse?
No, dude, I'm not into the globe at all.
So what do you feel that we're on? What do you feel that we're standing on? What is it that you think that we're standing on then? If it's not a globe and if it's not a flat plane, then what is it? Is it a triangle? Is it, or, you know, what is it?
I mean, we could get into so many different, well, I mean, obviously we're on a flat stationary.
So you believe
I totally am 100% on board with that for sure. But there are many other layers to this whole entire concept that we
absolutely. There's heavenly realms right above us. We can see them. Look at the clouds.
We can't really kind of define, I think, Danny.
100%. We're 1,000% on the same page.
The stuff that we can't define. Yeah, the stuff that we can't define.
Yeah.
David, I have a question for you. This is my last one, right? And I know you'll be the best person to ask. How do you clarify the moon observational points when you're on the flat Earth and everybody's seeing the same exact moon, the picture of it? If you're standing in one area and you look up, you're going to have an exact replica of someone standing in the far north looking at it. Whereas if you're really looking at it from that flat Earth and you're
what do you mean by the same size? You mean?
I'm talking about the same.
The same.
Exactly
the same face, but
like. The south, but it looks like that in the north.
But it does look like it's cartwheeling as it goes across, just because it's turning around. And in the south, it's upside down. Well, if you do a smiley face on your ceiling and one of you stood at one end of the room and one stood at the other end, one's going to see a sad face, one's going to see a smiley face.
Of course, that's the camera.
But that's just the orientation. That's fine. But that's people are like, well, no, it's because you're upside down. And that's mind control. So here's the thing. The things that we see in the sky, I don't believe any of them are physical. They're all, for lack of a better word, projections into our realm through the firmament. Right. I don't believe that the sun that we see, and there's so much more evidence coming out. If you've looked into the second sun or the spirit sun, as Crow 777 talks about.
Yes.
And we've seen it during an eclipse when the sun is dimmed enough where you can see the projector. You ever watch a rear view movie on like a hanging sheet or something? Yeah. You can watch the whole movie on the sheet, but if you look at the sheet real carefully, you can see the projector, the source of that projection. So I believe that the sun and the moon are being projected into what I call our personal atmospheric dome. So each person is inside of in the center of each personal atmospheric dome. So watch, the sun's over here. It's set for this person. It's set. And as it comes back, watch this point of light, here it comes, is rising, this intersection right here. So it's noon here. It's early afternoon here, late afternoon here.
I'm not catching. What do those domes represent?
So these represent the way we see. We can only see a couple hundred miles. Oh, I see. And the sun is being projected, and we're seeing it in our personal atmospheric dome. Gotcha. So as it moves along, imagine this being Connecticut and this being California. Yeah. All right. So as the sun is moving away, it's noon there. It's noon there. It's late afternoon here. It's evening here. Okay. As the sun moves away, that's how we see it. So it's being projected and it's just moving around. And then, this is an animation, that's an animation. So we can do it in real life and get the same results. So I took a glass dome, if I could find it, it moved. And I got a light and I put it outside the dome and I moved it over. And what we see is I don't see the video. It's gone now. Where is it? Oh, here it is. So this is actually more of sunrise and sunset, but watch, I'm just moving the light across the top, not lowering it. And it looks better in person. You look inside the dome and it really looks like a ball sun. It looks like a ball. Like when you take a magnifying glass and focus it, to burn things, it looks like a ball. And then it never goes below. It just, watch, I'm bringing it back now. It appears on the horizon, sunrise. It rises up through the sky and, noon
Oh,
for
wow.
the observer. And then it just goes away and then it fades away. It never goes below. Let me show you I don't know, you guys, you've seen this, right? This is my drone, freezing cold. It has to be below freezing, no humidity, super clear. And I watched the sun. It went down, down, down in 5 minutes times. It just went down, down, down. And if the earth was spinning, it would keep going, but it didn't. It went down, 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 down.
Yep.
And it stopped.
Yep.
And it sat there. Super sped up. It just sat there for 10 minutes. It should have been long gone. And instead of it going down,
oh my Lord.
Instead of it going down, watch. It just
disappeared.
Just disappears.
It just disappeared. This is the
Brother,
most.
is that not
this
proof
is like,
enough?
Where was that at? Where was that at?
I filmed this 7 different times from Connecticut. Okay. But you have to be, people are like, well, how come other people haven't filmed this? I'm like, because you don't have retards out there it's freezing cold, super clear, flying a drone that's about to drop out of the sky because its batteries are freezing and looking out a sun that it's a tiny little speck, right?
Huh.
Yeah. And it just fades. It fades away.
Is that not proof enough?
That's just, that's,
And but here's the thing, people, it's out of focus. You need a solar filter, right? So
Okay.
when you please somebody, when I please the trolls, whatever, I listen, I said, okay. And I went up, I put a solar filter on and the sun went down, 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 and it disappeared before it even got to the most interesting part because the solar filter makes it so you can't see the dim light. So then I landed the drone, took the solar filter off, put it back up. Oh, there's the sun. Right? Wow. It looked like it's set with the stupid solar filter. That's why when they yell solar filter, what they're saying is put a blindfold on and you might as well put a muzzle on too. Okay. Wow. So again, I filmed this again and again and again. I have a playlist called Sun Fade Out playlist on DITRH. It's mind blowing when you watch these things. It'll make you cry when you watch it in full.
Of course.
What time?
This is what's happening.
It's in the wintertime.
On my YouTube channel, and they're in the app also. On the app, where did the sun go? Hit the question mark. Where did the sun go?
What day on the calendar was this?
This one, I don't know. I do them all. I mean, it was cold. It has to be. It's normally November, December, January, February. Yeah. Because once the summer sun comes back, there's too much moisture in the air, and then the atmosphere gets too thick, and then you see it set behind that atmospheric horizon. Before it fades away, disappearing
like that, it stops.
Right.
It stops its decline.
It literally went down, down, down. It was you can watch it. It's going down, 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 and it stopped.
There is no explanation.
Yeah, that's the stuff that you can't explain. Yeah.
You can't explain it. The sun's just moving away. It's very simple. The sun's moving away. Earth is flat. It matters, not the shape of the earth. Like I used to say when I was dragged in kicking and screaming from the alligators, I said, what difference does it fucking make? I still have to go to work, right? And I had my own company. I was making more money than I ever thought I could make. And then something in the universe said, walk away from it all, Dave. Send this message out, because if we get our freedoms back, how long can we hold it if we're in a prison planet in our mind, flying through an infinite space vacuum where, most of the world has no idea who they are or the power of their mind. They don't want you to know that your thoughts create your reality. This center that you're in, did you help create it?
Of course.
Yeah. So you helped create it because you had positive intentions. You sent it out, and the universe conspires to give you whatever you're thinking about, not whatever you want.
Hands down,
you're focusing on what you don't want. They're going to give it to you. Okay. Focus on what you want, and it gets delivered. I have a friend who isn't happy with his job, and he made a comment, and I really felt it, a month ago. He's like, I'm really done with this business. I need to do something else. I'm done with it. Okay. Right. And so he's still plugging away at his job, but all of a sudden his bosses started coming down on him and started laying more and more and more crap on him. And like, look, he's like, I think they're setting me up to fail. Well, that's the universe conspiring to help him out. He's like, you just said you didn't want this, so we're helping you make that move. It's literally like you're in a river and you go with the flow, and the flow is your thoughts. And if you try to stop that river, it's just going to back up until it busts the dam. Okay. So I walked away to bring this to people. The amount of emails I get, people saying, Dave, I was depressed. I was lost. I didn't, wasn't happy. And after I found Flat Earth, my depression went away. I've never been more interested. I've met the greatest people. I went to Flattoberfest, which is a conference we're having in South Carolina in October this year. And life gets better. Here's the thing. When you become a flat earther, you lose some friends. Some friends are just like, they can't handle it. And then it's all right. That's their journey. My brother and sister don't talk to me. We never even discuss flat earth. So I don't even know. But you make a new family. Every single flat earther I've met at all these conferences I've gone to are now my best friends. They're amazing. And my app, the Find Other Flat Earthers feature, is going to bring people together. There's going to be babies because of this. Okay.
Little flat earth babies, huh?
I mean, great. So you like talking to flat earthers. What if you were out in town, you flipped up your map and go, hey, there's a couple flat earthers. Wait, let me zoom in. You're like, hey, they're over there at the tequila bar. You're going over there to say hello.
Because you already have more than one thing in common with somebody. If they believe in the flat earth, you already know there's more in common.
Right.
So
they're awake and aware.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're the most interesting people. People from all walks of life, all socioeconomical levels. They're all awesome. And I always say, if I had a roll of $100 bills and I dropped it at the conference, somebody would figure out whose it was and return it to me.
Wow.
Okay. And you can't say that anywhere else. Flat earthers are amazing people, people.
I just like people that are in that kind of mindset of challenging everything that's on the norm.
But, I heard Santos say it yesterday that, he's not going to stop because flat earth is important. When someone says it's not important, that is the worst case of Stockholm syndrome ever. It's not important that you don't know who you are. It's not important that you don't know where you are. That's not important that they're hiding free energy. They're hiding our history. They're hiding more land. They're hiding everything. They're hiding your true potential. And the thing is, everyone's like, I went to lunch with an old friend of mine when I was in the printing business. And as we walked into the place, he went and put a friggin' face muzzle on, and I friggin' yelled at him. And I told him, I called him a lot of names, one being a cuck. And I told him, I was like, what the? He goes, well, I don't know what the rules are. What rules? Here's the thing. The only power government, mind control, govern the mind, has is in your imagination. It's just like space, the only thing that's going to space is your imagination. What is beyond the shoreline of Antarctica? Antarctica is the highest land on Earth. It contains our world pond. Yeah. Okay. If you're at a pond and you went to the edge and you dug a hole lower than the pond's going to flow out. Antarctica is the highest land on Earth. It's the container of our pond. What's beyond it? David, maybe there's more land out here.
That's what I wanted to talk to you about. I want to really move away. No, not move away, but I really wanted to get into the things that we don't know, the things that aren't factual to us. Yes. Everything that you're presenting right now is bare facts. It's absolute evidence. What's outside of let's dig deep. Let's see what we could
here's a Japanese map showing all of these other continents outside of Antarctica.
So what do you think? Do you think that the firmament, right, is the dome over our pond? Or do you think the firmament is the dome over all the ponds?
One of the people that came up with I call it the egg theory, the cosmic egg theory. We're here, our sun and moon are circling around, but then there's another sun and moon out here. Maybe Mars and Venus are the sun and moon out here. And I did a little model. I got to film it where I have a distant sun. I had the light out farther away, and then I looked at my dome in the middle, and it looked like a star. I'm like, it looks like just like the way we see it.
Oh, wow.
And then out here is another sun and moon, which would be the sun would be Saturn and the moon would be Jupiter, right? So these are possibilities. I did a talk with Sophia Smallstorm called The Outward Flow of Civilizations about where did all the Mayans and the Incans and all of these civilizations, where did they go? Maybe they flowed outwards with their sun, and then a new sun was born in the middle. Sounds a little biblical, right?
Yeah.
So the sun oscillates, it moves. Where the sun goes, people go. Maybe there's more civilizations out
Absolutely.
here. I don't know.
It might be underground tunnels leading you to them as well. You don't
maybe. I would call people that live in the extra land, the extra territory, I would call them extraterrestrials. And if we live in the inner space, they're coming from outer space.
Yeah, for sure. Okay?
So the book that's in the app, and you can find it on YouTube. John the Morgal read the whole book online. It's about a senator that retired, got sick of the politics and everything, and went to Antarctica, and he found an opening, and he was like going through it, and then they came out. They're in the ocean. They were lost for about a month, and they came across some land, and some people came out on a boat and said, "Oi," and they spoke English. And they're like, we're from America. Where are you from? He goes, "This is the Iron Republic." And he's like, "Where's the Iron Republic?" And he goes, "Well, it's on the other side of Antarctica, about the same distance America is." And they're like, "What?" And they went in. This was in the late 1800s. And they were taught, the guy wrote these articles about flat screen TVs and electric cars and levitating things and a whole different advanced society that was living out there. And they said, "Where did you come from?" And they're like, "Well, we used to live where you lived in the 1600s, but we didn't like the tyranny."
So we moved.
Imagine that.
That's
tyranny.
interesting, man. You get into the Truman Show and him exiting the stage.
The True Man Show.
True Man Show. Yeah,
man.
of course.
Right?
Yeah.
The True Man Show.
Yeah. I actually, it's interesting, David, you're talking about this, and then you were bringing it up because I have somebody that I can't remember who it was. I think her name's Lisa. If you're watching this, thank you, Lisa. But she had sent an email on us being involved in 4 different worlds, and those are the 4 corners. And so we're in this one world where the sun is, and the sun's about to move from this one to the next one, and they don't want you to know that.
Here we go.
There you go.
Here we
right.
go.
Kind of,
and that's why. Why are
model.
all the elite running to? Why are all the elite running to what's off of Australia?
What's that?
The land off of Australia. It's I'm just spacing on the name. I'm having a brain fart.
New Zealand.
New Zealand.
Why are all the elite buying property in New Zealand? Because it's out there. If our sun moves outwards, that's going to be the tropical lands.
Oh,
okay.
Wow.
So I don't know if you guys have seen the Iwaranon stuff. Have you seen that yet?
No.
What's that?
Okay, this is mind blowing, and I resisted it at first, but it is
Friggin'
mind blowing. Ready?
Yeah.
You ready? This is an inverted picture, a reverse picture of the moon. And
yes, I've seen. All right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so he mapped out all the countries, and they're all here. It's like the coincidences on top of coincidences. It's too much. It's just too much. So this outer yellow line is the shoreline of our world. So Antarctica would be out here. And so our North Pole is right here on this red line. Well, this is what is all this other land? So our North Pole they always tell us it's moving, right? It's moving. Our North Pole's moving. So if our North Pole's moving, it goes all the way around here in a great year, like 25,000 and some odd years. So it moves 15 degrees every 2,160 years. So this puddle, the sun again goes around our North Pole. So it melts out this puddle. So in 10,000 years from now, the puddle's going to be over here.
Yep.
Okay. And this is where everyone's going to be. And these places out here, these outer places are very, I guess they're, I don't know. It's fascinating. So like, I don't know, maybe our controllers are here in the middle because it always stays unfrozen because it's part of all of the circle. On the app, and I put this video up. It got deleted from its original channel. On the app, you hit the web button right in the center, right here. The Lost History of Flat Earth. Hit that puppy. And now, like, if you know my channel, DITRH, my videos are less than 5 minutes each because for people with short attention span or people that think Flat Earth is stupid, they're not going to watch a 5-hour video.
Never.
Yeah.
You're absolutely
They're
right.
not. But here's the thing. If you're looking turn off, get rid of Netflix, get rid of your television, get rid of the whole thing. I tell people, and everyone that does this, I say, watch the first 10 minutes. If it's interesting, watch the second 10 minutes. It's 7 parts. Then if you like the second 10 minutes, you're 20 minutes in, just watch chapter 1 and then, come back another time. And the same thing happens every single time. Everyone watches the whole thing. I've watched it 4 times already and I'm ready to watch it again. 5-hour video. And I watch all my videos on double speed. I watch this at regular speed.
Me too.
Regular speed.
Oh, you watch it on regular speed? You want to get
I can't wait for the next cold, rainy day because I'm going to put it up on the big screen. I'm going to get some snacks and I'm going to watch the whole thing again. It's phenomenal.
Oh my God.
Phenomenal.
Thanks for giving
It's got
us
over
that.
300. I put it up not long ago. It's got over 300,000 views. It should have 300 million views.
Oh, wow. We're going to watch it for sure.
Dude, you are going to explode. Your brain is going to go Holy crap.
What's the guy's
Flat Earthers
background?
know that they don't know. What's that?
Is it who's the gentleman that put the videos on?
He's anonymous. He calls himself Iwaranon. And then there's also another 18-part series, shorter, much shorter videos that are phenomenal. He gets into mud floods, Sataria, technology, microwave buildings, what churches really were. It gets into everything. It gets into everything, and you can't turn it off.
I wouldn't be surprised at all if we had some of them who are on the outside looking in, sending us this information.
Oh, sure.
Sure.
So, you know what's funny is I forget who said it. Maybe you guys were talking about it. This is Santos said it yesterday, I believe. This is the apocalypse. This is the lifting of the veil. Flat Earth came here to free us. Flat Earth. Why does Flat Earth matter? As I was saying, if you don't know where you are, you lost control. People that wake up to Flat Earth unplugged from the Matrix. Everyone that's living in this life is Neo in the Matrix at the beginning of the video. And all the Flat Earthers are Neo at the end of the Matrix when they've taken their power back and they've realized who they are, where they are. And they say, no, I'm not listening to you, Mr. Smith. You are a friggin' tool. Okay. And that's our governments.
For sure. We're living
Those
in
are the apex,
we're
the
living
apex
in the
predators, is what I like to call them. But
yeah.
This is the Matrix.
oh, for sure.
We're in it.
Of course.
We're in it
Logan,
right now.
Are you aware of the flight routes?
Yeah, I've looked into the
Yeah, but there was
routes.
one that you were like, how does this work? Right. And
Yeah, but I went on and I looked at it and I was
made
able
sense?
to debunk. Yeah, I was able to make sense of it myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
You were able to make sense of it. How?
I don't remember. I'd have to go look at my.
Let me show you one that you can't
Go
make
ahead.
sense of.
Show
How's
us
that?
the audience.
So-
for the benefit
so-
of
so-
everybody else.
So this is Santiago,
Uh-huh.
Chile, and this is Eastern Australia. And if you want to fly, you would think, why don't you just go like this?
Directly.
Right.
Yeah, but we can't disturb the penguins. So, but you can still fly around. This would be the short. But instead instead of going this way to Australia, they go this way. What the hell are they doing? So when you go to Australia, when you go fly there, you go all the way up, all the way over, and all the way down. And it's worse. If you want to go to Western Australia, again, this would be the shortest route. Okay. They go north, they go all the way over to China and Singapore and down. This is ridiculous. But when you look at it on a flat Earth map, here we go. We go up across America, China, Singapore, Western Australia, a straight line. Okay. That's how you get there. Sometimes the flights vary by like 5 hours. That's because they use the jet streams up there.
Right.
And sometimes they're not as favorable as they want. If you look at the jet streams, they show us the jet streams, being this huge sine wave. But on the app, if you hit the winds, and I go to 40,000 feet winds, right now we have these white and pink areas. Those are going 200 to 300 miles an hour. And by the way, they're outrunning the spin of the Earth, that 200 to 300 miles an hour. That's crazy. If the Earth was spinning, they'd be outrunning the spin instead of lagging behind like they should. But, but also these winds here are favorable. This is like 100, 150 mile an hour wind. So you fly up, you grab these tailwinds, and then you get over there. Bam.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Wow.
fascinating stuff.
Totally. I like that. The last part, that the other worlds, because that's totally got my attention. I'm gonna have to start digging into it. That
is very
into,
again. Hit the Tatario. Find out about Tatario. Watch John. If you're like, oh my god, I don't have time for these big videos. John Levy, JonLevi. All of his videos are 20 minutes. You're going to go, oh, this guy sounds a little bit depressed, but then you'll realize he's awesome. Like John Levy video comes out, drop everything, watch it, 20 minutes. Right. And you can listen to him at 2.0 and he sounds like 1.0.
Is that just John Levy on YouTube?
John Levy on YouTube. Yeah. And I'm going to actually make a separate button for him in the app. His channel deserves a direct link with no other interference. Amazing stuff. But the other thing is, NASA, the liars at NASA, you know that NASA's fake, right?
The National Association of Space
well,
Actors.
I mean, I have my own kind of concepts on why NASA does what they do. So,
do you think NASA is in space?
No. I mean, I personally believe NASA is actually trying to project what they really want to do, and they need enough consciousness to tap into that idea to make it reality. So, that's just kind of what I believe.
I can follow that. I can follow that. So I just want to show you on what happens is NASA's in charge of radar, NASA's in charge of GPS, NASA's in charge of all flight routes, all international flight routes. So they've got full control of where people go, and how they get there. So there occasionally though, something happens on an airplane and they have to do an emergency landing. As a matter of fact, I think it's today's featured video. Today's video on the app is another emergency landing. Look at that. So if you have the app, make sure you don't miss that. Or if you miss it, just hit the archive button next to the featured video and watch it. But
links are in the description, guys.
Links are in the description. Nice, thanks. So if you look at the flight routes, there's a flight from Taiwan to LA. As I'm stalling, as I find it, here it is. So Taiwan to LA, this is where they say they're going. This is where Hawaii is. And right about here, there's a medical emergency. They needed to land the plane right away. Someone had a heart attack or a baby, I'm not sure. And they could have landed here or they could have kept going. But instead, they went over 1,000 miles out of the way, a couple thousand miles maybe, to land in Alaska. And the reason is because Taiwan,
direct route,
emergency, Alaska.
Yeah.
Los Angeles, right? So there's 16 times that this has been documented. And every time they land in a crazy place, according to the globe. But if you take a line on the flat earth map and draw it from the origin to the destination, they always land right on that line in where they were going. Every single time. How many times does that have to happen before you realize that you don't live on a spinning crazy space ball?
I mean, how many pilots have been put on the spot and how many pilots have been recorded and asked, do we live on a flat plane? And all of them go, yeah.
Most of them. And somebody just said there was a pilot that just was talking to us and said he used to be in the military. He said, yeah, it's very common. Most pilots know more than you realize, but they can't say anything because they lose their job.
Yeah, of course.
Globebusters interviewed a KLM pilot, a woman, and she's like, yeah, and I know this, and she's showing all this stuff, and just the whole show was fantastic. Next day, she was grounded.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Right. And now astronauts are coming out and admitting that we never went, and they're backpedaling. Like just the other day, Conan. You know what? Let me bring this up. Did you see on Buzz Aldrin on Conan?
No, this was recent.
Yeah. I seen it. And he goes, well,
let me play it.
Landing. Yeah, go ahead, play it.
So he was on there, and again, this is them moving the globe post, I call it, where they're because all the documentation of the moon landing stuff, it's all being taken apart. It's like looking at the movie Jaws going, yeah, I can see that it's not real now. It doesn't hold up over time. So they're literally backpedaling. So
even non-flat earthers believe that we can go to the moon.
Right. No.
Yeah. Stop sharing that.
I decoded the moon landing, dude. It's all, yeah.
It's all
yeah. So share with sound. It's really short. I'll play this. Ready?
Yeah, watch this.
Yeah. So let me get going. Can you guys see that, right?
Anybody who was alive at the time does. I remember my parents waking me up, and we went down and we watched you guys land on the moon.
No, you didn't.
What?
Because there wasn't any television. There wasn't anybody taking a picture. You watched animation. So you associated what you saw with...
I have very hazy memories.
I know.
Well, what we saw was we all were gathered around the old curved top radio and listened.
Talking about how many feet we were going to the left and right, and then I said, contact light, engine stop.
It was
and
exciting.
A few other things, and then Neil said, Houston, Tranquility Base, the Eagle has landed. Man, how about that?
That was very exciting.
Not a bad line.
Not a bad line for an actor.
What?
You said you watched an animation.
There wasn't any television. There wasn't anybody taking a picture. You watched animation. You watched animation. You watched animation. You watched animation.
Insanity. People who believe that we landed there deserve to be in an insane asylum. It's just the end of it.
And they think we're the crazy ones. All right, here's my 100 Bitcoin offer. You ready?
Bring it.
100 Bitcoin.
$20,000 of Bitcoin, by the way, ladies and gentlemen.
How much?
40 grand.
Yeah. So 100, so whatever, $4 million. Big deal. You're not going to win it. Show me something dumber than the heliocentric model. Show me something dumber. It could be, show me something dumber, right? Somebody came close, actually. They said Don Pettit, and I'm like,
That is pretty
Now,
close.
it's pretty dumb, but it's not dumber than the heliocentric model. The heliocentric model, people go, flat Earth is ridiculous. There's tons of proof of the globe and there's none of flat Earth. Well, it's worse than polar opposite because there's no proof of the globe.
Zero.
And the heliocentric model is the dumbest shit on Earth.
Now that's for sure.
Yeah, no, it really is.
Okay.
It really is.
Yeah.
Oh God, Lord, help us, save us, save us.
So listen, Logan, you triggered me on 2 points. One, your name's Logan, and we had a Logan that we don't like very much. So I'm trying to get over that. That's not your fault.
This
But
the
Put that on me,
this
dude.
the best Logan.
I'm not. It's my own personal problem.
He's the complete polar opposite of
Yeah.
that Logan. I guarantee you.
Thank God. And so why does it matter? All the flat earth, I woke people up to all those other deceptions I talked about, and they go right back to sleep because it doesn't affect them. Flat earth, when you become flat earther, you think about it every single day because it connects you back to your truth. Your soul goes, he's seeing the truth now. I can talk. He'll listen, and we take our minds out of the television programming, the television programming, just listen to the words. And we take it back. Like every once in a while, every 6 months or so, I go, I want to watch the news. I want to watch the news. I want to watch a segment of news. 5 minutes in, I literally think I have cancer. Okay. I think that the news causes cancer. Okay. Just to be honest, it causes cancer. And so watch the news, get cancer. There you go. So when you wake up to the flat earth, you take our power back. And I'm glad you're into crypto. People say, well, crypto is evil. The word crypto and, governments are tracking and this and stuff. Bitcoin is trackable. It's super trackable. Many things.
Of course,
Ripple, trackable. But there's privacy coins out there. When people wake up to what Monero and Pirate Chain, right?
Pirate Chain.
And other ones.
Yeah.
So when people wake up to this, the people that are running this world are the people that are controlling us with their nonsense fiat money. They don't need money. They need money to control us. They have our minds in a prison. That's the globe. And they control us with their money. Now we need money to operate in their system. People say, why don't we just trade? I was like, well, I've got something. I've got this big crystal here that you guys want, and I want to buy that painting from you. Well, how am I going to transfer the money or whatever, whatever. And crypto is the perfect money.
Yeah.
If it's done right, if we control it, and we do control it. So the way to take them down is stop playing in their money game. So that's number one, and wake the F up to where you are, who you are, what you are. Take back your God-given power that they've tricked us into giving away.
And take back your wealth.
This is the most important topic ever of our time, and it affects every single person on this planet. 9/11 doesn't affect people in Africa, doesn't affect people in Ohio. Okay. Nobody cares. They don't care, but this affects every single person. So again,
for sure,
you need to wake up. And, and guess what? There ain't a lot of time left. Okay.
There isn't.
This is it.
We say all the time, Santos and I, we constantly repeat ourselves over and over again. The flat, stationary, horizontal plane is the number one thing that needs to come out.
I heard you say that yesterday, and I was like, I've always looked up to Santos for years, and the fact that I heard that Santos and you were excited to have me on the show, I'm like, the world is totally upside down. This is insane. This is insane, right?
Our number one tenet, for God's sakes. Our first tenet in syncretism is to know that you live on a flat, stationary plane. This is number one. You cannot know anything else. We don't want you to know anything else. That's the first thing we need to know.
I tell people do this, right? Go outside and sit down, get yourself nice and situated, and meditate, and imagine yourself spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, orbiting at 66,000 miles an hour, chasing at 500,000 miles an hour, moving sideways, right? And then literally you feel like shit. Your soul is like, what the fuck are you doing? And then shake it off, get a glass of water, and then come out and sit and say, I'm sitting on the foundation of the universe. It doesn't move under any circumstance. All of the luminaries are circling in perfect order above me. And just by saying that and imagining it, your spirit lifts right away. You're like, whoa, I feel lighter. I feel great. Your mind comes together. Your soul starts talking to you again. Because right now, I think people's souls are pissed. They're pissed at them. They're like, what are you doing? Right? The awakening's here. All the information's here. The elite are telling us what's going on. They're telling us everything. Right? And people just don't see it. They're telling us.
Part of the show, David. That's part of the show.
Like my shirt?
What's it say?
It says never go full fucking retard.
Never go.
He's got the dart on there.
It's not a dart.
The jab.
It's
It's the
the
jab.
jab.
I know, but
Yeah,
It's the
that's
jab.
just so.
And by the way, my t-shirts, I have awesome t-shirts. One of them is my new favorite one is let me show it to you. It's they're all in the app on the t-shirt shop. Where did it go? Where did my thing just go? Here it is. And this is one I made, which I really love.
Hug safe.
Hug safe. Verified.
I love
That's
it.
good, man.
I love it. Yeah, because we have a group chat, right, that we have with the community throughout Playa del Carmen, Cancun, and Tulum, and we have a lot of people. It's a mixed group, right? So there, a lot of people are really woke, and then there's some people that aren't. There's some people that are even vaccinated, and we're talking about how the simple fact of you being vaccinated allows
easy what you say here. I want to put this on YouTube also.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So let's not
Let's
not talk about it then at all then.
Yeah.
It's not good. They'll flag us for this one.
Yeah. I'm surprised at how yesterday's stream stayed up for you guys.
Yeah,
you guys
man.
were out of control.
We're gonna tone it down though. We're gonna tone it down. We have to tone it down.
Isn't that crazy? The land of the free. Watch what you say. Don't think. Don't say what you think.
Yeah.
It's just insanity what's going on.
Yeah.
Right?
No, for sure.
Hard to tail end, man.
Hey, let me ask you a quick astrology question. In astrology, I used to laugh, like, how's a planet, 40 million miles away going to affect me? But once you understand that they're right here within our system and they're all energetic and, sentient, you understand, like, wow, it totally affects my life. You chart the motions of all of these celestial objects, and you can be a baller and still get it right because the models kind of have the same motions. And I've noticed that flat earthers really can put the model together much better, and I think they're just become more powerful astrologers. Does astrology take into account the motion of the earth, considering we're moving in 4 different directions at once, going billions of miles a year? I don't think it does.
I've never observed it that way. I mean, I'm an avid astrologer, and I've never.
But you don't pay attention to the earth moving.
Not at all.
Well, that means it's not moving.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wouldn't you take it into account?
The only thing that moves is the ecliptic.
Okay.
Like it's that's the most important part of the whole thing is the ecliptic, which is
Mhm.
the ring.
I see.
Yeah, that's the most important part.
Okay.
Well, I mean, the idea that the ecliptic's moving like they tell us is beyond insane.
Right.
We're chasing the sun at 500,000 miles an hour in a curved loop, and somehow all the other planets keep up with us and they stay on the same plane.
Million things.
It would be going like this. It would be going in every direction at once.
Of course. The sun, for God's sakes, they say is 93 million miles.
Well, there's a reason for that because it's tied to Saturn and stuff through the numbers and all that kind of stuff. That's the reason.
But you got to look at that and from a different paradigm. It all is tied together. You're
paradigm.
right.
Yeah.
Just simple things. Like 100. The moon is supposedly, they say, 170,000 kilometers away. The sun is 93 billion, 93
million
miles away. Excuse me, 93 million. But they perfectly eclipse.
Wait, so the chances
of that happening
400 times bigger, 400 times farther is 1 in a quadrillion.
I don't think that's the moon anyway. Personally, I think
wait, that's fine. And then happening again. Well, that's like winning the Powerball 2 days in a row, right? And then it's worse. It's worse than that. And then it happens every year. And then 18 years later, the entire cycle repeats. Okay, the Soros cycle, the eclipses repeat every 18 years. Does that sound like a random beehive heliocentric gravity-induced theory dark matter universe, or does it sound like a perfectly ordered clock in the sky?
Oh, it's a perfect.
David,
definitely, it's perfectly orchestrated.
I'm moving in close to the camera on this one.
No,
you ready for this? Was this question?
Sure.
What the fuck is it?
What the fuck is this place?
What the fuck are we doing here?
Yet we're in a physical simulation, and we're here to expand the mind of the creator. Okay, we are the creator. Our soul. This is just a meat suit. Our soul animates this meat suit, and our soul is a piece of the creator. All of us together are the creator.
That's right.
And we're here to expand the mind. So those of you that are lost in the television programming, those of you that have sold your souls in all the different ways that you can do that, are, look at Biden, soulless. Okay. Look at all the people in higher government, all the people in Hollywood. They're all, they've all lost their souls. I mean, who was it on 60 Minutes? Was it not Billy Joel? One that said he sold his soul to the big guy. You know, he's paying.
that
his,
was
Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's many, 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 many stories of this. So, you know, whether you believe it or not, that's your problem. I believe it. And we have a simple, what is this place? It is an amusement park that we agreed to come to expand the mind of the creator. And we have just a couple of rules. Don't lose control of your soul and don't break anyone else's free will. Have a good time.
Do you think you come back?
Welcome.
Do you think you come back?
Well, you either come back if you fail the class and you have to do it again, or if you pass the class, maybe you come back. I'm not sure which one it is. I'm not sure which one's hell and which one's heaven, which is great.
Do you think, I'm sorry, Logan,
No,
do you think that you move forward somewhere and you maybe become something else? And
Yes, I think that
pass the class, just like you would upgrade, go, move on to 6th, 7th, 8th grade, so on and so forth.
I think that we're all rising up, and those of us that are maintaining control of our soul and listening to our soul rather than to the television programming and getting cancer. We rise up and we become bigger and better, and then our souls probably travel in groups and stuff. So we have different lives here. I can't prove any of that. That's what resonates with me.
Yeah.
That's
Me
what
too.
resonates with me.
No.
And, Jeff Berwick said today, and he goes, but everyone's afraid of death. He goes, death is probably the most amazing thing that could ever happen to you in any circumstance.
Oh, yeah.
He goes, but don't get me wrong. I don't want to, I don't want to FOMO out of this place. I want to see what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
He goes, but the worst case scenario is the best thing that could ever happen.
Of course.
Where you have unlimited potential. Like when you die, you go back to unlimited potential. Right here, we literally are trapped in this meat suit in this crazy world with psychopaths. I find it fascinating. I love puzzles, and this place is a puzzle. And I love roller coasters. This place is a roller coaster. I'm happy as can be.
Yeah.
David, what's your birthday? Just your month and day.
July 16th.
Oh, okay.
Oh, happy belated, man.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, it's interesting because you have so I'm into the cards. I'm into tarot and astrology and all that stuff. And
fascinating stuff. That's the real science. I don't understand.
You and Santos have the same birth card, the Queen.
I know. I heard that the other day. When was he born? Like July.
He's March 24th.
Okay.
Cards have a certain boilerplate chart to them, and July 16th is the Queen clubs, which is the same as Santos.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey guys, what are we doing on time, by the way?
I got to run anyway. Please.
We got to go. Time's up.
Time's up. Hey, David.
David, thank you so much, man, for sharing your wisdom.
You're such a blessing just to have on, man. Really, truthfully, man. I love your energy and I love your everything about you, everything. And I would love for you to come on again if you can, please, with Santos here. It'll be.
How close are you guys to the water in Mexico?
2 blocks.
Right here. It's literally right.
2 blocks.
I'm moving there. I'm coming.
It's not 2 city blocks, by the way.
Yeah, no, it's just crossing 2 streets. I should say it's crossing 2 streets.
All right. And you're are you on the Gulf side or the ocean side?
No,
we are on the water. Like we're 2 streets.
Which
over
side? On the ocean side, the Pacific side, or the Gulf
on the
side?
Atlantic side.
On the Atlantic side.
On the Atlantic side. Okay.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. We're in Cancun. We're one town up from Cancun.
I don't know my geography.
You got to come to Puerto Morelos.
Yeah.
It's one town over. It's magical. You really got to come.
We'll talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Let me tell people real quick. If you're a flat earther, you probably already know about my app. Get the app because the Find Other Flat Earthers thing is going to be a game changer. We're going to use their technology to bring us together when they want us apart. Okay. There's going to be flat earth meetups every day, everywhere, because people are going to go out. Like if I'm in like New York City or Mexico or California, I'll look and I'm like, hey, there's some flat earthers at this beach or at this bar. I'm going to meet new people every time I go out.
Love it. Quickly, can you tell us about what's going on in October again?
In October, if you go to flatearthfestivals.com, and we have it's a dual conference and music festival, 2 days. I think it's Saturday and Sunday in like February and October 22nd, right around that weekend, whatever it is. Flatearthfestivals.com. Click Flattoberfest. It's inexpensive. It's in South Carolina. There's people coming from all over the country. I believe there's people coming from other countries. I'm driving down from Connecticut, and this is the third time, and it's always a blast just getting around flat earthers. Forget the presentations, forget all the other stuff. Yep. It's all about meeting, like you turn around, the person behind you that you've never seen before is your closest friend.
Hey man, I'm probably gonna come. I'm probably gonna join you, man.
Absolutely, 100%. Flat Earth Festival.
We're in South Carolina.
Check it out. What's it? It's in Spartanburg, I believe.
Oh,
If I'm saying
God.
that correctly. I got
I
yelled
know
at.
that's where that's at. Yeah.
Okay.
And grab a ticket and grab the hotel or find a bed and breakfast because I don't know how many there are.
Wonderful. David, all of David's links are in the description, guys. Go to his channel. Guys, so much. He has so much to offer, so much. And promise us you're going to come on again, right?
I will come on again. I would like to still talk to Santos. It's always been something I've wanted to do. The app, just watch out. They're on the Android. You need an 8.0 or higher. There's already a Flat Earth Society, but it's run by the Ron Media Group, who ripped off the name, ripped off some of the graphics. I think their app is free. I'm not even sure. Don't send me emails telling me my app sucks. My app is the highest rated app in both stores. Okay. And they're gatekeeping you there. They have, the trolls on there. It's just horrible.
Your app is just $1.99 or something, right?
It's $2.99. $2.99 one-time charge. Now people say, well, there's a pop-up that says, would you like to subscribe? The pop-up shows up. It's 99 cents a month, but you don't have to pay it. It pops up once a day. Yeah. There's no ad. You exit out the second it comes up and it's gone. And that's it. And you still get everything. But the app costs thousands of dollars a month to run. So people wanted me to add more stuff. They're like, put a donation link on there, Dave. And I'm like, they don't let you put a donation link. So I put a subscribe link and you could just literally exit out. But if you love the app and you want to support me, it's $11 a year. Go for it.
I'm going to go for it. Yeah. I'm already there. That's it. You got me.
The app, the new feature that's the only thing that it's going to require a subscription. It'll still work, but you just can't message somebody unless you're a subscriber because the messaging costs money. I'm starting literally my own instant messenger thing. It's insane.
You're the man. Cool. You are the man. You are the man. Guys, get on his app, download it, subscribe. All right. You need to be supporting these people. You need to be supporting people.
Here's the thing though. I'm not asking for donations. I'm telling you, basically, if you bought me a beer in a bar, it would cost you more, and then I'd piss it away, and that would be the end of it. We'd have a good time. It would probably be worth it. $3, you get the app for your whole life. Just read the reviews. Read the reviews. And here's the thing. Here's another challenge. Nobody can read the reviews and not buy the app. Just the way it is. I'm offering 0 Bitcoins for that.
I like how transparent you are.
I love him. I'm telling you, I love this guy.
That's awesome.
All right, my good friends out there. Thank you all for joining us.
Awesome.
Signing out.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, David. Appreciate your time, man.
See ya. Thanks,
Much
guys.
love to you.
Later, brother.
Bye-bye.
David, you're the man, really.